again, this is the 12th of September 2020. This is more of my advice for young autistic people. This is numbers 4 to 7. Piece of advice number 4 is enjoy your stims and your spins. Make the most of them. So there's something that is unique to us, you know. Allistic people do not understand our spins and stims. They have interests, of course. They have things that they like to do, but they don't understand it on the same level that we do. It is a very autistic thing, and it is, and your particular set of interests is unique to you. You know. I mean, if you have a very long established fandom, something like Star Wars, Harry Potter, classic cars, something like that, it's you can be part of a big active community. There's people out there who will understand you and talk to you for hours about what you enjoy, but it's not always like that. It can be quite a lonely experience if your special interest is one particular tree down your street. It's you can almost feel like you're going mad. Why am I so attached to this inanimate object, to this particular concept that nobody else has the slightest interest in, that nobody else understands? But it's part of you. It's these things. They're collections of things that really resonate with you, with your psyche, with your personality. And I think it's important that we recognise that and really enjoy the hell out of our stims and our spins. An allistic person will never know the joy of having a good rock or just watching the leaves drift in the breeze. They might think, oh yes, it's pretty, but they don't feel it on the same level we do. I just think that it is, it's such a beautiful, wonderful part of being autistic, and I just, enjoy it, love it, get all you can out of it, because it is something that is just so uniquely yourself, and so such a binding experience in the autistic community, I think, as well. And it becomes a part of your history and of your psyche and your personality, and it's who you are. It's yourself. Your stims and your spins and your rituals and your phobias and your responses to any colour or any activity or feeling, sensation that you feel particularly strongly. It's who you are. They make you you. The fifth is health. I think we, as autistic people, do need to be aware that it does affect our physical health sometimes. If we, quite often we have disordered eating or very restricted eating. We have same foods, we have safe foods. We sometimes forget to eat, or we develop aversions to certain foods, and it's something that as a community we really need to keep an eye on and watch out for each other as well. And we need to take our vitamins. We are also more prone to anxiety, depression, and various other mental illnesses, obsessive compulsive disorder, etc. And again, we need to look out for each other and for ourselves, and we need to, be honest with ourselves about our behaviour, get to the doctor, take our medication, and we need to be aware of these tendencies that, as a group, not all of us, but as a group, we have. And some people's stims become dangerous. They find ways of hurting themselves, and please try and mitigate the effects as much as you can. If you're one of those who needs to punch things or do things that are a little bit dangerous and painful, and please take care of yourself. Pain is not a positive thing. It shows that something is going wrong with your body. I think that leads me on to the next one, which is rest. This is connected very strongly with health. Your body is the only thing that is entirely yours from birth to death, and as well as being kept healthy, it needs to rest. And living in a capitalist society, we are often led to believe very strongly that unless you are producing something, unless you are earning money or spending money or creating money for someone else, then you are not doing anything worthwhile. And it's just an absolute lie. You need to rest, and as autistic people we often have less physical energy than holistic people. We are tired by socialising, by sensory activity. Some of us use the spoon theory. We talk about losing spoons as we use up our energy, our ability to communicate, maybe our ability to stay awake, our ability to stay calm. We use the spoon theory very often, and identify things that make us lose spoons, be it noise, be it having conversations, be it particular activities that we find stressful, be it for some people bright light. And we need to be aware of how much rest we need. Because if you find yourself going into shutdown or meltdown or burnout, that is unpleasant, and it is really not helpful for anybody at all, most of all ourselves. It's not always easy to rest. If you've got kids to look after, if you've got a lot of responsibilities, if you have a demanding job, it's not always something that you can do whenever you want. But be aware of how it feels. Count your spoons every day. Get as much sleep as you can. And I know that it's often tempting to stay up on the internet all night looking at interesting things, nattering with your online friends, etc. but please try and, be aware of how much sleep you as an individual need, and, make time for it, because it is important. It is really important. It is even more important for us than it is for holistic people, because it is just the way that we recharge. Of course, we all have our individual ways of recharging, our sort of relaxing stims, our, our safe places, perhaps. And make time for that as well. If you have a particular place you like to go to just feel calm and to chill, do that whenever you can, because it is important. It is important to you. It is important to anybody who depends on you, that you are well rested and that you are happy. And number seven is a bonus for people who struggle with communication with holistic people, with the small talk and the social rituals and the how are yous and the oh isn't it a nice days and such. You can switch off if that's not something you particularly have an issue with. Study transactional analysis. I know it sounds oddly specific. It's a kind of psychological theory. It was developed in the 50s and 60s. Kind of gone a bit out of fashion now, really, but I have found it extremely useful in understanding a lot of sort of social pleasantries and why people do them. I mean, if you sort of really get into it, there is so much information about why people behave as they do, why people have various insecurities and how they manifest themselves in everyday behaviour. And just as a really brief, in a nutshell, overview of what I found particularly interesting and helpful. It works on the system of strokes. Each conversation, each interaction with another person, not even necessarily verbal conversation, is measured as strokes. And they call that because as a newborn baby, you become aware of where your parents are by touch. And as you get older, you learn to recognise them by sight, by sound, and as you get older and start to move away from your parents, you develop language and your ways of understanding that they are with you, that they are supporting you, becomes a bit more sophisticated. Sometimes you realise that they aren't with you, supporting you. But yeah, we use strokes to describe how people give each other attention. And very often, if people cannot get positive attention, they will seek out negative attention, because it's better than nothing at all. It shows that there is someone there, present, who acknowledges you. And an amazing amount of politeness, good manners, is down to acknowledging that the other person is simply there, doing something. To say please is acknowledging that, you are asking a person to do something for you, to stop what they're doing and help you. To say thank you is to acknowledge that they have done the thing for you. It's just about recognising that person has done a thing that, is good. And these are all ways of exchanging positive attention. The good morning, how are you, isn't it a lovely day, where are you going on holiday? It's all just ways of asking for people to give you a stroke. a small positive stroke. And I think the way that it reduces interaction to these formula of giving and receiving strokes. I think I've personally found that extremely helpful, and I think it it does suit the autistic mindset. Logic, rationality, reducing things to mathematical formulae. So if you are if you do have the kind of autism that makes you struggle with that kind of thing, I think transactional analysis would be a very helpful subject to have a look into. As I say, I personally found it pretty life-changing. And that is it from me for now. If anybody has any more suggestions, please put them in the comments. And if I get enough, I might make a part 3. And bye for now. See you all later. Bye bye.